Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest. The Toronto Raptors, the draft is over. Amongst all the rumors, everything that came out, the Toronto Raptors did nothing. And in my opinion, they blew the draft. They wanted a top 10 pick, they were in talks for a top 10 pick, and a future superstar fell in their lap. They could have made the trade, and they didn't do anything, Riker?
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr., the Raptors could have had Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah. But why didn't they? All right, just explain first.
Well, they didn't make a move. We didn't have a draft pick, but the Raptors, rumors were flying left and right that they were ready to make a move. They wanted to make a trade. They were willing to send out players, and they didn't. And they could have got a top-notch, the best recruited high school player. They could have had him, and they just didn't.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's just pick into that first. It's like Michael Porter Jr. is way too big of a risk, and that's the reason that he slipped down from a high draft projection to 16th, is because he only played 3 university games. He was on a D2 junk team, a toss-away team. He had that back surgery.
Well, D1. He was still D1.
Missouri's a D1 team?
I think
Bottom
so.
of the barrel if it's the case. But anyways,
yeah.
I mean, it's this big injury like that you're just taking such a huge gamble. I mean, he has played 0 games, so they'll actually prove that he's able to prove himself. The issue is, if he does get good, that'll be a dangerous Denver team. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter Jr. It is somebody that the Raptors could have capitalized on. But would you have actually wanted him? Do you think that there would have been a position for him? Because we already have the GOAT OG.
Well, you can run multiple wings. We see the NBA, the league is just ran by these between 6'8" and 6'11" wing players. It's the top position in the NBA right now. It's where the most talent is. And you mentioned Michael Porter Jr.'s injury history. Well, you look at a guy like Joel Embiid. His injuries, they said it was a big problem. It's, he'll never pan out. Look what he's doing for Philadelphia right now. He's totally transformed that franchise to a top-tier team in the East. And he missed his first 2 seasons.
But he's the exception,
but his
man. He's
talent, his impact.
He's definitely the exception.
Well, Ben Simmons, he missed his first full season. Ben Simmons missed his first full season. Blake Griffin, not too long ago, probably about 8-9 years ago now, he missed his first full season, came in and was one of the best rookies of all time. So, and Michael Porter Jr. is saying that he's not that injured. His injury concerns are overblown. Obviously, me and Ryker don't have the physicals, but even if he does miss the first season.
If anybody has the physicals, send them our way, and we'll get some doctors in on the podcast and to give their take on the. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I mean, he is still a gamble, but the main thing that I'm just so darn disappointed with, is this is one of the most stacked draft classes in a while. I mean, the last couple of years have been all pretty good, honestly, except for 2016 seemed pretty. Was it 2016 that was really bad? There was one that was really bad. But anyways, to not make any move, that's one thing. But to openly shop any player on your team, including the players who are loyal, DeMar DeRozan, have loyally committed to a franchise where it is not appealing at all to any free agent, to openly shop them for a rookie and then not do anything. I mean, there's no way that that's not going to trickle back into the mentality or to the desire to play for the Toronto Raptors as a superstar. I mean, if I was DeMar DeRozan or Kyle Lowry, I'd be frustrated. I'd be super angry that they said to everybody, "Oh, I'm willing to shop these guys away for a rookie," and then not do anything with it. I think that this is going to cause some concern. So I don't know if you think the same way.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. But you bring up DeMar and Lowry. Obviously, I wouldn't want to trade DeMar and Lowry for a guy that's as risky as Michael Porter Jr. But he fell to 16th pick. You can trade for the 14th, the 13th. I remember when the Charlotte Hornets, they just traded Dwight Howard for Timofey Mozgov. That management system is incompetent. We could have traded, probably Norman Powell for that. I think they had the 11th pick, if I'm not mistaken.
No, yeah, but that trade though was because the Charlotte has a a big man crush on Mozgov. They cleared up about $7 million. So undeniable. That's the reason that he picked him, was because he liked him a lot and he was on that championship team when he was over in Cleveland. But they cleared up about $7 million in cap space, dealt away a Dwight Howard who has never made friends with anybody on any team. And then he's now cut by Brooklyn. I don't know if you've seen the news. He's going to be bought out by Brooklyn as well. So he's going to hit the free agency. But I see what you're saying. There was the potential to be fleeced there, and I'm sure. But the thing is, okay, we both came to the senses that DeMar DeRozan is virtually untradeable, right? Unless we could get an equal deal in terms of value, which to me doesn't seem at all possible in any circumstance with the teams that we've been interested in trading with, right?
Yeah.
And I know that people in the comments have been saying DeMar is not our number one guy. DeMar is not the best. Some have even said Lowry's the best. But in terms of somebody who can just put a team on his back, like him or hate him, DeMar was able to do that, right? No other player,
especially in the regular season.
And I'm only talking about the regular season because nobody was able to win games in the postseason. But I mean,
against
to get rid of the one core person on your team for a rookie is nonsensical to me. So who do you see realistically that, would have been interested in like a Lowry package deal or a Ibaka package deal? I don't know, man. I think that's the reason that it didn't go down.
I think that's fair. But if there was no one interested in that range of players, because if there's no rumors, I would have been frustrated about the Raptors. But the news came out, the Raptors don't leak anything. That's not gonna usually happen, that they're not making moves on, because they're a pretty tight-lipped organization. But the Toronto Raptors were saying consistently that they wanted to trade into the draft. They wanted to trade into a top 10 pick. And then when so obviously the Raptors wanted a good star young player. And then when a star young player keeps slipping and slipping and slipping, they've marketed to us that their agenda was to bring in, a guy with potential, young guy with talent. And then a young guy with talent keeps slipping in the draft, and we don't do anything.
Yeah.
When we wouldn't even have had to trade maybe a Lowry or DeMar to get one of those picks.
The thing is too, the Cavs, we could have traded with the Cavs. I don't think that there's any chance that they're going to get LeBron re-signed to the team. And I don't know what they were thinking with the Collin Sexton pick. I'm high on Collin Sexton as a player, but I mean, clearly he's not a pass for first point guard. He doesn't display very high basketball IQ. And there was a plethora or a bunch of good players that they could have picked that were higher ranked than Collin Sexton. I don't know what Cavs were doing. So, I mean, they kind of, in my opinion, wasted a pick, which the Raptors could have used that 8th pick, right? The Knicks, we could have got a deal from the Knicks. Like, you know that the Raptors can take advantage of that team. And the Clippers, in my opinion, could have used a player like Kyle Lowry. I mean, I know they got Patrick Beverley, but to me, they're lacking in that spot, in that point guard spot. And if we could have bundled together a couple deals and got either the 12th or the 13th. But yeah, it's disappointing, man.
Yeah,
it is disappointing.
There's a lot of possible moves. And Masai Ujiri, the Raptors organization leaked that they wanted to get into that position, and then it proved that if they were in that position, it would have been prime time, and nothing came of it. So, as a Raptors fan, I'm just extremely frustrated. You talk about Collin Sexton. A lot of people are kind of all over the place with him. I've heard rumors. I've heard reports that he's going to be a guaranteed bust, and some people say he should have been drafted over Trae Young. So, the spectrum's pretty wide there.
Well,
so
it is a good debate. It is a good debate
but
between Collin Sexton and Trae Young. Trae Young had a great start to the season, but was completely reined in once defenses started to adjust to him. He wasn't able to respond as well. There's also a huge criticism on his defensive ability. And then I already said the criticisms for Collin Sexton. So it will be interesting to see who the better point guard is. But this is one thing that I want to say before we finish up and then of course if you have anything else to say too. But one thing I want to say, it's funny to me, like, this is the biggest night for, all these players, right? These are just guys younger than us now, your age.
My age. I should be drafted.
It's the biggest night.
I was like Jello.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for that 60th pick for them to call your name. Never happened. Never happened, man.
Straight out of McGill.
God.
Benjamin Rogers.
But man, this is the biggest night for their lives. They got their family there. They're really excited, and then their name is called. That's probably like the best part of their entire life. And then when everybody boos, Oh man, they gotta be like, oh god, I hate these people, or like, oh, this is the way that I'm starting with this franchise. Like the fan base already doesn't like me. I mean, of course they boo players like Porzingis who ended up being really good, but it's funny that these guys, that's their first experience, their first dip into the NBA is to get booed by all the fans on draft night.
Yeah, it's a classic meme, especially when New York picks. Everyone boos when New York picks. So
yeah,
no. It's going to be interesting to see what the Raptors do. We just signed an undrafted player, so we'll break him down. Yeah, and lots of more cool stuff coming, yep. Riker. The content, we didn't make any moves draft night, but Raptors GM said that July 1st, a lot of big things should be happening. So hopefully we don't get fooled again.
Yeah, I can't handle 2 bamboozles.
No bamboozles.
All right.
Anyways,
thanks.
You guys are the best. Thanks for listening. Keep tuned to the pod. Check out the Instagram. We went Instagram live on draft night, so we'll do that more. If you guys like it, let us know in the comments. Just big things coming. So stay tuned to the Raptors Digest.
Mm-hmm.